All right, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Just a little technical difficulty, so I'll quickly throw it out there. Emily has a new YouTube channel also that's going to be more real estate focus driven and not DIY. So she's trying to separate it. So I'll put the link in the chat. So please get her to 50 subscribers so we can do live streams on that channel. But so good morning, Emily, and good morning, Jack.
Good morning.
Yeah, so we'll dig into, Jack has a lot of things he wants to ask you about the contractor side. I think what he's also going to ask you is maybe why you're doing two channels, because even Jack was mentioning to me the other day he's thinking about changing the branding for his channel name. So Jack, do you have any questions for Emily up front while I put her channel and stuff in the chat?
Yeah, so to start things off, when you're talking about contracting and stuff, the first thing I noticed is that you weren't hunched over your computer like most 50-year-olds or 60-year-olds that are in the construction field that have beaten themselves up so badly. So since I'm working my way more into it, what recommendations can you provide as far as like keep like your health and fitness and stuff, and even like a stretching regimen or something?
Sure. So I don't think that I'm probably the best example of health. I will say, so I actually, I don't know if this has any relation on it. I don't eat meat. I haven't eaten meat in like 20 something years. And so that might have some health impacts that I'm not aware of. That's not why I don't. I've just always been pretty grossed out by it. So I stopped eating meat when I was a teenager. So that might have some health impacts. I think construction is good for you because you're staying busy and you're moving, especially as you age. I remember my mom's dad who raised her. He was her stepdad, but that's her dad. He raised her. And he was a real estate agent, a broker back in the day. And he used to always say, you retire, you die. You retire, you die. And he never retired. He retired and he died like months after he retired. And I think people just stop doing anything. If you look at how little people actually move, we sit at a desk or we go to our job and we're physically not doing anything. So doing construction and walking around and carrying stuff, you have to be smart about what you lift on your own and what you expose yourself to and wearing a mask and, following safety protocol. But like my real estate mentor, he's in his mid 70s and he still is renovating houses. There's things he can't do anymore, but that's probably because he's active every day.
Yeah. Yeah, because what I'm thinking about doing is like, especially when I get into doing this more on a regular basis, is doing some stretching regimen, like doing the warm and stuff, making sure to do, get your cardio in on your days off. Make sure that your days off, you're not just sitting around doing nothing.
So I just want to say quickly, so I put Emily's new YouTube channel also in the chat, so please jump over there, subscribe. I do see Double Dubs tuning in from Instagram, so thank you for stopping by. Yes, and I'll also put I think I have their Instagram handle here too, so go check them out. That is the Buffalo Wings that they have a food truck for. That's won 4 years in a row. But yeah, so Jack, also you were talking about changing your brand name too, right? So you want to kind of fix your YouTube possibly?
Yeah, so what I'm thinking about doing there is more of, oh, Mark, not to change the topic, but do you realize that the single family house right next to yours is up for sale now?
No, I do not know, but I'll ask Alex after.
Yeah, like I just parked and it's up for sale now.
All right. Well, I'll take a look.
I'm sorry. What was the question again? Oh, the YouTube. Yeah. So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do this or not, but what I'm thinking about doing is renaming the channel and changing some things about it. And I wanted to name it, was it Dirty Hands to Fat Wallet? Because eventually I want to write a book, but it's kind of like Zuber's book, One Rental at a Time, his story. Well, my story's not done yet, so I can't write the book yet. But part of that is talking about the businesses, which I kind of already talk about on Jack's Business Talk. I already kind of talk about the businesses from time to time, but I wanted to do more voiceover. So like talk about real estate and stuff while filming myself and like fast motion and stuff, if that makes sense.
Okay. What is your, so that's what you want to call your YouTube channel? What is your Instagram? Do you have channels everywhere?
Sort of.
Well, Emily, so like for you, why are you starting another YouTube channel? Why are you branding yourself differently?
So, to be honest, we have to play the game that's in front of us when it comes to social media, which is the algorithm, which is how any of these social media channels are pointing people in directions. And so I have for years kind of probably known I needed to do this. If you look back a long time ago, my channel started as a real estate channel, but it was more answering questions about real estate transactions, not necessarily investing. And then I started doing the renovation stuff, and then that really picked up and I kept going with that, also because I was doing that every day. And I felt like people don't usually comment. Now they're starting to, or people will tell me in public that the real estate stuff is helpful. But I'll have people say, "Oh my gosh, you saved me hundreds of dollars changing my shower head or whatever. I didn't know how to do it. I'm a single mom. I couldn't afford to, but like I could do it myself, you know?" And so I leaned more into the DIY stuff and leaned away from, even though I was doing the real estate investing, I wasn't posting about the real estate investing. And I kind of did a little bit of both, but anybody who knows anything about YouTube will tell you that the algorithm has to know what bucket of subscribers to put to your channel, because YouTube's main goal is to keep people on YouTube for longer. And if your channel doesn't do it, they're going to push them to the channels that do. They also have to know what group of people like your channel. And if your channel's all over the place, they don't know who is your audience and who to put there. So they're not going to send anybody there. And so in my mind, I get how construction, renovation, DIY goes with real estate. But as I've noticed, as I put more of the real estate stuff on, there's some people that are coming over and only watching the real estate videos. And there's some people that are coming over and only watching the DIY videos. There's a lot of investors who are not doing the projects themselves. And there are a lot of contractors, DIY renovation people that don't want to invest. And so YouTube, because it's not a person, it's an algorithm. So it's got to fit into their formula, doesn't know who to send to my channel. And so it's going to hurt my channel and it's going to hurt people finding my channel. And also, I don't want people to get videos where they're like, half of what you're posting I don't want to see, and I don't want to annoy them with content they don't want. And so I think just based on anything I know about the algorithm, I have to split it. I didn't want to maintain two channels, but I just think I cannot grow such divided channels. Now, if your thing is I'm the investing contractor and that's like your brand and you're going to start it that way, but I don't necessarily want to do, I want to have two different things if people only want to do this piece or only want to do this piece. But if you make that your brand, I think if you craft it that way from the beginning, I think it's possible. You just have to be tactical about it.
Because I think honestly, like my big thing is it's not like my channel will never be a DIY how-to channel. It's going to be
Sure.
like even as I'm doing like the recordings and stuff, I'm gonna have myself in fast motion is what I'm visualizing, and I'm gonna voice over it or strip the audio out of another video that I shot and put over top of that. And it's really gonna be more of me talking about the numbers, and instead of me like sitting in this truck right now, it's gonna be like me, pouring concrete or me doing drywall or me doing this. And then at the end be like, hey, if you're interested in blah 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 having me come work on your property and you're in this market, reach out.
Yeah, so you have a strategy from the beginning. So if that's what you're crafting, then that's fine, because those are going to be who they put there from the beginning when YouTube says this is who your group of people are that want to watch your content. Are you, because you're talking about the time lapses, are you going to be more of a shorts like vertical channel, or are you going to be a landscape channel? Have you thought about that?
It depends on the video. Most of my content will be longer, like even in like the solo videos, it'll probably be 10 minutes plus, or like,
Okay.
So it'll probably be horizontal stuff. I'm not saying I won't do shorts, but I typically, when I do vertical, they're typically lives before I go to work where I'm talking about different things and just taking questions about different things.
Sure. The thing too about the time lapse, if you're showing a full project, I know now with YouTube, everybody's dubbing things, and there's a lot of stuff where they'll put it in different languages. But when I watch a lot of videos of different tiling techniques. There's some really good tilers out of like Russia and countries that I don't speak the language. And a lot of times they'll post themselves doing these amazing tile jobs and these cool cuts. And it's just time lapses. And I can watch, fully see what they're doing and learn from a time lapse. And some of those guys do have a lot of subscribers because they're just masters at their craft. And
Yeah.
the language thing does. So someone might also just be watching, now the dubbing is there, whatever, but they might just like to watch that full project too.
Yeah.
Hugo from Stay Winning Wealth, who has a great podcast, does say, sometimes I think my second channel should be a podcast clips or a second channel on food and travel. Hey, we got Dion, the keynote speaker at Bigger Pockets this past year, joining us this morning. And yes, I just want to remind everyone that Emily was on my channel before Zuber's One Rental at a Time first. So I just want to throw that out there. But if you haven't, go check out her interview with Michael Zuber on his channel. It came out this week, I believe. And yes, I'm trying to convince her to come to Vegas for the One Rental at a Time event. But I did put her new channel in the chat. So please go subscribe there so we can get her to 50 so she can do live streams also on that channel soon. Yeah, but let's
Mark,
get
if it makes you feel better, I was on your channel before Zuber's also.
A lot of people were, and I get no credit, man. That's what no, I don't care. So let's see. I don't see anything else right now. Oh, Hugo does say, I have learned that when it comes to social media, people would rather be entertained versus educated.
I think it's different. People are looking for different things. I think the majority, yes, but I think there's a lot of people who, I can't tell you, especially in the DIY space, or like because we were just delayed this morning, I'm so bad at technology. Do you know how many tech tutorials I have watched, learning how to edit my videos, learning how to edit my podcast? Because I know none of it. There's been so much value and education from the people that are sharing that. And so when you need it, I think a lot of people do use the education, but for sure the majority is just entertainment.
So I guess I guess I missed it. But what's the difference between Emily's two channels?
So I have a DIY channel and I do renovations, construction, DIY projects on usually my rentals. That's usually what is going on there, or someone's house that I'm helping. But my house is boring. My rentals are way cooler than my house. I was like, I wish my kitchen looked like this. I want my bathroom to be this color scheme. But so I just started the real estate specific channel because I found that maybe some of the DIY content followers are not investors, don't want to be. And then some of the people that are investors really don't care how to change a garbage disposal because they're always going to hire it out. So for the algorithm purposes of YouTube and just not inundating with people with content they don't want, I did two separate channels. So I just started the just real estate specific one in my name.
Looks like we did get you a subscriber. So Alex, the accidental investor, just subscribed. I did see Jack. I think it was Jack. Oh no, it was Harrison's question earlier. Have you heard of Rumble? Do you think that's a platform that you're gonna put your content on?
No. Does anybody know about it, or can you tell us about it?
So I had Millennial Mike on yesterday. He's a ex-SWAT officer. He's still in law enforcement though, but he's a big part of the community also. He's talked about probably leaving the force in about 12 months, but he's trying to transition more towards Rumble because it's more of a free speech platform.
Okay.
So he definitely wants, that's going to kind of be his branding, but he also feels there's not a lot of real estate or finance content there yet. So he's trying to get in early too. So that's what he's trying to tell us, that we should put our stuff on that platform. So I've been there. It's definitely a lot harder. It's harder to navigate on that side to me, but I might start looking to, it's hard, but I don't know how you're going to manage two channels. I have a hard enough time doing one channel.
And I'm trying to hit certain metrics as far as how much content I'm trying to put out. So I'm a little nervous about that. So if anybody has a good video editor, I am looking for an editor. I have been nervous to sift through how many people you have to go through to find a good one. But I am looking for an editor so I can outsource some of that. So if you are a good editor or you know a good editor, I really am looking to be able to film and not do as much of the editing so I can pump the content out.
Got another subscriber, looks like.
Thank you.
And so Alisa Fit, who was here yesterday on the live stream, So Jack, if you want to also know more fitness stuff, but her platform is more for women, she said, but I'm sure she could give you some advice in staying fit. But she says, I would advise to go on the new social platforms and at the very least just claim your handle. That's it.
Smart.
Yeah, Josh says Rumble is great, a true free speech platform for sure. Oh, Stay Winning Well says hire me to edit and watch my stuff. I edit my own stuff.
Okay, sure.
So I'll put Hugo's YouTube channel in the chat right after this.
Cool.
Looks like you got 2 more subscribers from so Harrison subscribed to both channels.
Yay!
You said.
Thank you.
Also, right here. So Dion, who has a probably about 25,000 subscribers on his channel, and like I said, he just spoke at Bigger Pockets. He says just go live once you can, no editing.
So with YouTube, because I can't remember, because by the time I was really active with it, I had way more subscribers than I do now on my new channel, obviously, where I have like 10. But how many do you have to go live on YouTube? Does anybody know? I can Google it if nobody does.
50.
50.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking, I mean, if you do lives and there's no one to watch them, then but I was thinking of maybe doing 1 live a week on the new YouTube channel and then my podcast or, something like that. So I can get at least 2 full-length things out a week minimum.
What I hear you saying, you're willing to do a live stream on my channel once a week and link your channel.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. No problem. As long as you don't ask me to do it at 4:45 in the morning.
Well, don't even start. I hate daylight savings. It messes me up. And people are going to say I'm whining.
We were trying to figure out the time difference. And so you
Yes.
asked me if I would do a live stream at a time, and it would have been 4:45 a.m. my time. And
Yeah.
nope.
So Jack, looks like Alisa says, yeah, reach out to her. She can probably help you with some advice for your stay in shape for DIY contracting.
Cool.
I would say the big thing
Thank
too
you.
is drinking water. I know this sounds silly, but my husband, as we age, I just think, man, he just keeps getting better looking and I just keep looking older. And he's 5 years older than I am. And he's like, it's because I drink so much water. And he does. That man drinks so much water. And then he talks about good quality water. You get the water that has everything filtered out of it. And then you have the water with the pH and different things in it. But really, like if you have ever grown plants or looked at plants, they can get like this. And then you water them and the next day and that's our bodies. That's your brain, that's your muscles, that's your nervous system. So I always think when I'm trying to be healthier, because every once in a while I'll run I did an ultra marathon a couple years ago and I'll train for a race. Before I worry about taking things out, I always try to add things in. So I love a lot of junk food. I love Red Bull, but I'm like, well, I'm going to try to flush out that Red Bull with half a gallon of water or whatever. So I think water's a big one. I think adding in, do I get enough fruits and vegetables, putting all those things in, because man, when I garden, I think I'm doing this to my body if I'm not putting the stuff in it that it needs. And when you watch a plant die and come back and die and come back.
Dion, so I think Dion is hinting he's going to be going live probably after this. So I like to thank Dion all the time because he checks to see if I'm live first. So he kind of holds off so he doesn't steal all my audience. But he says, yeah, when you can go live, log in and check to see if I'm live first. But yes, I appreciate that, Dion. Casey is saying, yeah, Emily is a big deal now. She's everywhere in the ORAT channel. And I want to say it again. She was here first. I just want to throw that out there.
So talk about Vegas, because you keep mentioning it. What happens there? What does that look like? What's the event like? Tell us. Sorry to put you on the spot, but you keep mentioning it. So give us some more detail on that.
Okay. Jack, do you want to give her? So I went both years. Jack went his first time last year, or this past year, I should say. Do you want to give her your thoughts on it first, Jack? On what it's about?
Yeah. So I mean, for me at least, I showed up last year with really I was more excited to meet people like Mark and Trade Better, finally meeting the people that I have on my channel or talk to all the time in person. That's what I was really excited about. So I went out there, got to meet everyone. The speakers were great, the event was great, everything was a fun time. I showed up on Wednesday. We went to some I don't know, whiskey bar thing, and we hung out, we talked, got to meet each other, hung out all day Thursday, all day Friday. We went to the midnight at Denny's both Wednesday and Thursday. Friday I can't remember what we did. Yeah, I don't know.
You're not
I
selling it
know.
very well, Jack. I'll tell you this: you're not
He's
selling
like,
the
Friday
event.
was really memorable.
All right, all right. So basically, the first year one, Michael Zuber, well, Dion and Lumberjack kind of convinced him, you should have an event once you hit 50,000 subscribers. So it's kind of a goal. He hit 50,000 subscribers. So it was a big event for kind of like, I guess you could say, the OGs of the community. So there's like Dion, Lumberjack, Derek, that ADU guy, Millennial Mike, Coach Carson. So a lot of the regular people that are on Zuber's weekly videos attended, were speakers. So year one was kind of like a celebration, and Zuber loved it. He said, "Man, the feedback, everyone was networking, having fun." So he said, "I got to do a year two." So that's where year two started from, and it's just continuing now. But it's the same weekend. It's always President's Day weekend because so Monday's a holiday. Just so happens this year though, Valentine's Day is on Sunday, so the 14th. But it's 14 and the 15th is the event. And then their speakers. So like this year, the keynote speakers is Pace Morby and Jason Hartman, and then a lot of people from the community are speaking. Like Cody Davis, who tuned in earlier, will be speaking. Brandon Potts, who's my day two regular live stream, he does build to rent in Texas. There's a health coach. So year two, or this past year, the health coach and the pastor were like two of the most requested speakers to come back. So those two will be there again. So there's
Health coach and pastor, did you say?
Yeah, so he's more he
Interesting.
talks about like mindset, like relationships. So a lot of I get unfortunately, so a lot of men, right? They bring their spouse. The man is the one investing, but they bring their spouse to try to get them involved, and it's a way to. It's not completely just real estate for the whole weekend. So there were other people that got interested, like, oh, this is a great event because there's things for everyone, right? So some people really enjoy like the health part of it, or like I said, the mindset part of it. And Zuber's been mentioning it recently, and I think a lot of people, that's how they relate to it. It's almost like a family reunion more than an event. So nobody is selling anything. There's nobody selling courses or any programs. It's also to promote the community. So like a lot of people that are from the community are speaking. And then there's, like I said, there's two big keynote speakers. Like last year, Graham Stephan surprised everyone. He was the speaker. But yeah, it's like a family reunion. Dion, who's here, he does a Wednesday, Thursday, midnight at Denny's meetup too. So people that do come into Vegas earlier. There's also some more networking event, and it's just a family reunion basically. It's to all the people that kind of know each other online finally get to meet in person. Yeah.
Cool. That's cool.
Make sure to really show up early because that's where you get your deep conversations with people, and those end up being the things that stand out to you more in the long run. But besides Friday, but that's a bigger takeaway. And like honestly, for me, the highlight was when everyone was leaving. It was me, Mark, and I don't know, like 10 other people that end up going to the Hoover Dam. It's just like the little things, the conversations you have and the little things you do that kind of really stand out. And I don't know, it's a great way to, people are saying how they can't make friends as an adult. Go to this event, you'll meet a bunch.
And I'm not sure if you're a Backstreet Boys fan, but Backstreet Boys is in concert that weekend. So there's some of the wives that are going to the concert. So I don't.
They're going because the concert. They're like, oh, okay, we can go this year.
Yeah. So they'll be there. But yeah, so hopefully you will be there. I think there's less than 100 tickets left. That's what Zuber mentioned on his daily recording. General admission, I believe, is like comes out to like $320 because there's like an Eventbrite fee. I think VIP. What was VIP? $799, $699. I forget, but something like that. But yeah, hopefully you can make it. It's a lot of fun. I think I think the community loves you. They said they're. But like I said too, you got to bring some wings from Double Dubs. You got to bring some of the buffalo wings so we can taste it. So if those that are tuning in that don't know, she also has like a food truck that does buffalo wings that has won 4 years in a row. Correct?
I'm sure they'll be good by the time I get there on a plane. Like, here's your soggy wings.
Yes.
I just want Jack to wear a shirt that says, "I'm just here for Friday." Or make Friday great or something. Like, you got to do something special on Friday that you'll remember for next year when you talk about it now.
All right. We got a little off topic, but it's always fun. That's why I think what hurts my channel. We kind of just the live stream starts and then it kind of just randomly goes to wherever the questions direct us. But let's kind of get back to a little bit of maybe Jack's initial talk or discussion about the contracting side, staying in shape, and even the social media branding.
So Jack, what is your channel right now? What type do you have it? Are you starting it? Like, do you have a lot of content on it? Are you shifting it, or have you been doing that and now you're just kind of thinking of changing? Like, tell me a little bit about where you're at right now.
So it's been around for a while. I don't know how many videos there are. I've probably been plucking away at a well, probably over a year. Yeah, because it was last year where Dion challenged me to get. I was like, I just want to get 50 subscribers, and he's just like, why not 100? He's like, that's your goal now. Get 100 before the event. So, and I did it about 10 minutes before the event started. But I did it.
Awesome.
But yeah, so it's always talked about real estate as the main priority, and that wouldn't change. It's just like I said, I would bring kind of like what I used to do in the outdoor channel, where a lot of it was just voiced over, and instead of like showing me like walk in the woods for 20 minutes, I would speed that up for like 3 minutes. Instead of showing you guys walking 2 miles, it looked like a couple hundred yards, and I would voice over, tell you weather, tell you temperatures. And I was thinking about doing the same thing, because a lot of what I talk about in my businesses, when I do bring them up, which is very sparingly, is mostly the number side of stuff. It's not, like I said, it's not DIY. It's not like, here's how to install a drywall. Like, so I would probably do that in the aspect of like, I would slow the video down, but I'm not going to talk about it. It's just something different to watch instead of me being in the vehicle. Because like most of my videos are always of me sitting in the vehicle or on a couch, but 90% of them are me sitting in some vehicle.
Trade Better does have some good advice. What about do you guys sell the sauce for the buffalo wings? Like, do you bottle it and somebody? Yeah, he's saying bring the sauce.
You're so excited about this, aren't you?
They've won 4 years in a row.
You can't fly. Well, I guess you can check it. So one year, like when we go to the Wing Festival, there's always someone that drives down with like gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons of sauce. And then we fly. But there was one time they forgot something. We had to check a bag because we had to bring a little bit of sauce, and we like wrapped it all carefully and stuff, because you can only have 3 ounces that you can fly with. But we don't ship it. So we have the first franchise. Our friend is the original owner. And we have been trying to get him to do a co-pack with a bottler forever, because we go to Buffalo, New York. We're in Wyoming, all the way across, the United States, right? And people always want to buy it. So we've been trying to get him to forever. I don't know if he will. We've shipped it to friends, just cold packed it and shipped it. But as a business, we don't ship it.
I see Rick Freeman here. Yes, the Bears kicked ass this past weekend, so bear down. But maybe so. Rick also did mention he said buffalo wings. Here, I'm starving. So maybe some people don't know the story. So quickly, maybe share that story about the buffalo wings. And there is the Double Dubs Instagram page. So if you want to follow their social media on Instagram, there is their page, and check them out.
Yeah, so the story with the wings is, and I think a lot of people that invest in real estate, if you have the entrepreneurial spirit, you might have a lot of other things you've done or you do after that, or so we just we like business, and we saw an opportunity. So my husband's one of his childhood best friends growing up, they used to always make wings. But if anyone's ever had a Fry Daddy, they would like hover around a Fry Daddy and fry like 3 wings at a time. It's like a little tiny fryer, and they'd wait for them, and then they'd eat them, and then they'd fry 6 more, however many fit in there. But his friend is so good at coming up with sauces. He is like a sauce genius. And so he has a food truck in Laramie, Wyoming, which is where Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, where he went to school. He was the quarterback there. And so for years, we tried to get into the National Buffalo Wing Festival. It's a competition in Buffalo, New York. Kept telling us no, because we were a food truck and not a brick and mortar. And so Josh vouched for us to the guy that runs the whole contest. And everyone in Buffalo loves Josh Allen, of course. And he said, these are super good wings. These are my favorite wings. So they let us in, and everyone thought, oh, they're just letting him in because of Josh. And then we went and just knocked it out of the water, and have gone back, every year since then, and have won festival favorite 4 years in a row.
All right, so hopefully we can get the sauce out to Vegas by then, and so everyone can try it. But even on the Zuber's video, after I watched it, I found it interesting. You were talking about it was about college too, right? Like how not that it was a waste of time, but it's almost you're in the trades now in a sense, right? So what's your thoughts? I don't know. Do you have any kids? Is that
No.
okay? Would you, if you, well, okay, if you did have kids, would you send them to college? Would the plan be to send them to college or?
My plan would be to have well-rounded, which I can't say because I don't have kids and I don't intend to. But my intention, if I did, would be you need to have a marketable skill and you need to be valuable. And I don't care what that is. So if you want to be a welder, if you want to do a carpentry apprenticeship, if you like around our area, they have awesome apprenticeships for electricians. You can go to school, like they send you to the trainings while you work. So you're getting paid, they're paying for your education. And then once you become a journeyman, then your pay goes up. And obviously, if you want to become a master electrician, I don't care what you do as long as you have something you can use to make money off of. I'm for college if people want to be a nurse or a lawyer or something that you have to have that degree to be able to get a certification or be valuable. But when I was of that generation where parents just said, I don't care what you go to school for, you just have to get a degree. And it's crazy. When a kid is 17 years old or 18 years old, they change their mind so many times. Most people don't know what they want to do at that age. So unless you really know, it's just a lot of money and a lot of debt to take on when you think about if this is how much I'm going to make when I graduate and here's what my debt's going to be. Does that make sense in any way? I think you really just have to look at it from an educated perspective.
But you met your husband, you said, right?
Yes. So I lived in a town that I would not have lived in. My husband lived there. I moved there for school and I would have never met. So it's 100% worth it for me there. But like the degree is like, nah, do I use it? Not really.
So I know you also touched on he's not much involved in the real estate side, right? Is he involved in the food truck side, the buffaloing
Yeah,
side?
he runs the food truck.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's
And
his,
he's
yeah.
still in the law enforcement, or is that no?
No. So my husband was in the National Guard. He was an officer in the Army and he was a state trooper. When we bought a real estate brokerage from I worked for a broker. She wanted to retire. She sold it to me. So he actually got his license and left being a state trooper when I bought the real estate brokerage. And then he realized, he's like, no one listens to you. You give them all the comps, you give them all the data, and people just make emotional decisions. You're like, oh, here's what your house is worth. Here's the 15 pieces of evidence. And people are like, oh, let's just disregard that and price it $75,000 higher. And then they're mad it's not selling. So he just, I think, was so frustrated with nobody listening to very clear information. He's like, this is not for me.
Jack, you still gonna get your license?
I don't know, potentially, because like my whole thing is I don't want to work with I more or less just want to deal with real estate investors. I don't necessarily want to work a whole lot with first time home buyers or people that are trying to buy their forever home and all that kind of stuff. For the same reason, I don't feel like trying to explain something 10 times and then be like, well, it's your fault, it's not selling. No, you're not listening.
Investors will still do that to you. I love working with investors, but they still like to ignore the data. For some reason, their house that is the exact same as all the comps is more special.
Mine's always more special.
Always. But yeah, no, I think having a real estate license, because you have your license too, don't you?
Yes, but mine is more for agent acquisition, like EXP.
Okay.
So people that want to be a part of the revenue share. So I have it more just for when I transition to probably when I'm retired and living in multiple or different places. Because same thing. I don't really think people should start their investing journey in Hawaii. It's just a high price.
Oh, sure.
Point. Yeah. So
I think that having your license, I think more information is going to be available to people because I'm in a non-disclosure state. So some states are full disclosure states where sold prices are available and stuff. Wyoming, you do not have that. None of that's recorded anywhere unless you have access to the MLS or an agent. So I think having the license is valuable, and I think that if you don't want to be a buying and selling agent, you just want it for yourself. I don't think it's bad to have it, but go somewhere like an EXP or a discount brokerage. I mean discount as far as they're not going to charge you a bunch of fees or a high split to have your license. But I don't think it's bad, but I think if I wasn't making a living off of doing the sales, I don't know if it would be like, oh, it's worth getting it. I'd probably just find a good agent that, sold my stuff for me. Because if you want to be a good agent, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of bad agents out there.
I do want to remind everyone that Jack is also streaming on his YouTube channel right now. So if you haven't, can you go jump over there, subscribe, hit the like button, get Jack. What are you at now, subscriber count, Jack?
It's not quite 160. It's like 156, 158, something like that.
All right, we'll get Jack to 200 soon, Emily to 50 soon, so she can live stream. Well, I do want to say Emily's other channel, though, has 15,000 subscribers. So, yeah, we don't have to worry about that one, but we got to get the new one up to 50. So,
Jack, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I'll go look at your channel. You said you're not doing shorts right now. You're just doing long format.
I do have some shorts on there, but there's no new shorts that have come up in a while.
Okay. Do you have the capacity, like as far as what you can do and what you have time to do more shorts, even if they're just quick time lapses, if you're doing projects and stuff?
Potentially, maybe.
I have found that consistently doing shorts, and I think there's a lot of different research and different YouTube experts will tell you different things. But so if you don't want to be a shorts channel, if you don't have a lot of long form, you don't want to start with just shorts because YouTube will think you're a shorts channel. But if you have an established channel and a lot of content, when I consistently post shorts, I get so many more eyes on my channel. And your shorts subscribers are probably going to be different than your long format because people always talk about trying to get people from your shorts to your longs. It is probably going to be a different consumer basis, but if you're trying to grow that subscriber count, I would try to post more shorts because I get way more subscribers. When I post a short a day, I get 150 to 200 more subscribers a month than I do not posting a short a day. And I did it for a month. I stopped and I did it again. And it was the difference of 150 plus difference in subscriber growth per month.
Looks like we got you another subscriber, Jack. So Ali just subscribed to your channel. He's an investor flipper in Detroit. He lives in Florida, but his house is in both places, but his investments are primarily in Detroit, but he's in the school community. So Harrison is commenting from your channel, Jack. It says, what are the most needed trades people in Pittsburgh and Wyoming?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Pretty much any manual labor trade. So like, and I don't want you to think like heavy duty construction, like your HVAC. There's a million HVAC companies, and like, unless the owner is purposely trying to drive the business in the ground, it seems like they're all doing fairly well, even not running with the best technology. Your plumbers, your electricians, your handyman, your GCs, it seems like everyone's booked at least a month or two out, and that's what I would focus on. Is just your getting your hands dirty type of trade skills are the ones that are doing the best and have the most demand. And if you need them, then you need them, and they're hard to get to your place.
I would say in Wyoming, so I'm in Rock Springs. This could obviously be different in different towns, but in my area, you could come and start any trade business and I think be successful. I think you could start electrical, plumbing, you could do groundwork, you could do HVAC, you could do roofing, because there are so many people here that don't answer their phone, that don't get back with you. I work with a lot of investors. I work with a lot of contractors that sub pieces out, members of the public who just need things done, realtors that just need things done for their clients' projects. And everybody is so flaky and unreliable that, I mean, I always tell my Instagram friends this that are tradespeople. If you're in a flooded market, if you came here and just did the very basics of professionalism, of responding to people and actually getting someone a bid when you say you will, you would very much succeed, because there's such a void of reliable tradespeople here across the board.
Yeah, I would definitely second that also. Just answering your phone and being courteous to people.
Or getting a bid once you go, because the one I see all the time is either they don't show up, they don't show up when they say they will. If you get delayed, let them know. People get it, right? But they came and then they never got back to me with a bid. They showed up and they said they'd get me a bid by tomorrow, and then they didn't get me a bid by tomorrow, and I had to follow up, you know. So I just hear everybody's complaints, and people just, I feel like a lot of times you have somebody who's maybe good at a craft and they're not good at the business piece, or someone who gets like a coach and they're good at the business piece, but they have no idea what they're doing in the actual trade. And so if you can be good at the trade and just have basic business competency, you would blow it out of the water where I live.
We got you another subscriber, Jack, from Alex, the accidental investor. So I did put also All Nighter Hiders channel and Stay Winning Wealth's YouTube channel. Yeah, Hider, looks like we got you another subscriber from Alex. But Emily, so maybe how do you decide which projects are worth filming versus just finishing, I guess?
Part of it is how frantic of a hurry am I in at that point? So sometimes I'm just burnt out and I go, I can't make myself move this camera. I can't change the angle. Or sometimes you'll tell, like, I'll do a video and I'm like, man, that was really good. I have the 10 different angles. I moved the camera a lot. And then sometimes it's like, nope, you see it from back here. Sorry, my head's in the way. And so sometimes you just get burnt out. A lot of things I've done a lot of times. And so maybe I've done a cabinet hanging video or a backsplash video. I probably won't do another one unless it's been a while, or I think that one's really cool, because if I've showed you how to do a backsplash, maybe you don't want to see that again. Or if I've installed, like, I put, one thing I do with my rentals is I try to use all the same toilets, all the same bathroom fans, because then it's quicker, because I've installed those before and it's easier to switch out parts and components. So if I've installed this toilet twice already on the channel, unless I'm trying another one, you don't probably want to see that or care to see that. But a lot of times I miss opportunities for content because I'm in such a hurry, maybe not necessarily on the project, but I just want to get done for that day. And it takes about 2 to 3 times as long to film it and move it and film it and move it, or to get that shot. So yeah, it's sometimes I should film stuff that I don't.
Do people ever reach out to you to do work from your videos though? Like, say I seen your YouTube channel and
so I think mostly pretty much people know that I don't do stuff for hire anymore. Every once in a while, I'll have somebody reach out that's kind of in a bind, or I'll help friends that just get stuck and they're trying to figure something out. My mom is the sweetest person ever. So there's a lady from the senior center that my mom knows, and my mom volunteered to paint a room in her house for her. And then she went over there and it was like 12-foot ceilings. And my mom's like, I really don't want to bother you, but the ceilings are so tall and I don't want to get on the ladder that tall. So for the last couple of days, we've been painting this room in this lady's house because my mom told her she would help her. And so sometimes things like that just happen, but not a whole lot. Sometimes people reach out. Like, I have friends that work at Home Depot, and I have a friend, and he said he showed a video to someone. He's like, they want you to do their bathroom. And I said, no.
so Ali, there is Emily's, both of her YouTube channels, her DIY one and her just recently started more focused real estate one. So go subscribe to both, please. There's also her Instagram handle and also the Double Dubs, the Buffalo Wings Instagram page. So go check them out. Let's see.
Is Alex talking about Floor Leveler? Using Floor Leveler?
Maybe. I don't know if he's talking to Ali, who's in the chat, because Ali was so I don't know. So yeah, were you the one who recommended using Floor Leveler to fix the part I tore up? I think he's talking to Ali, who's in the chat also.
Okay.
But I don't know. Do you have any? I don't know. Are you able to have some input on that?
Well, I was just going to talk about my favorite floor levelers.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So it depends what you have access to. if you have access to Shonox products, which I have to go to Salt Lake City, which is like 3.5 hours away to get that, they have reinforced, because if you use a floor leveler, if it's not over concrete, if you go over like a plywood subfloor, you have to put lath in it to reinforce it. So it's an extra step and it takes extra time. Shonox is a brand that has levelers that are like polymer reinforced, and you can actually pour really thin layers over a plywood or a wood subfloor, and it can get really thin. There's not the extra step of the lath if it's a big section of floor. So if you can get access to Shonox, I would definitely use that, because it's going to be more user friendly than, I don't know what the brand is, but like the red one that Home Depot has, you got to do more extra steps there.
All right, Jack, you have any thoughts on that? Any floor leveler? Instead of yawning on camera, but
it was. I don't know. I've only ever had to level floors a couple times, so I don't really have a preference in it. I've always just done the lath. It's usually one of the last things I do before I leave for the night. So by the time I come back, it's, you know, a day or two later, it's ready to go. So I would honestly just go on YouTube and try to get some ideas on the process, get yourself better, you know, more familiar with it, and just go from there. That would be my recommendation.
Alex is saying, thanks, Emily. I'm trying to get out of the flooring business. Let's see. Oh, there's a comment that's not showing up, but it's on your channel, Jack. It says, what are your power tool brands of choice for DIY projects?
Is it like a professional, or just like someone just working on their house? If it's someone that's just a DIYer working on their stuff, I don't see anything wrong with going with the less expensive brands, just because it's not your daily thing. So like your, you know, Ryobis, your Cobalts, you know, the brands that people make fun of, keep it cheap. Why spend extra money on something? And if you're only going to use something once or twice, you know, go to Harbor Freight. Who cares if it breaks after the job's done? You may never touch that tool again in your life. But my preference, I like DeWalt. I can walk in almost anywhere. I can pick up a DeWalt battery or a DeWalt tool. I didn't really pick DeWalt knowing that from the start, though. I picked DeWalt. It was like I walked into Lowe's one day and they had a special of like, hey, buy 2 batteries with this charger and you get 2 free tools. And I was just like, great. It looks like I'm going with DeWalt. And that's literally, and I just stuck with DeWalt ever since.
You didn't choose DeWalt. DeWalt chose you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Any thoughts for you, Emily, on this?
First of all, the best tool is the tool you can afford. If we think about like when people started in trades and all the fancy stuff we have now, like especially with tiling, obviously makes it way easier, but people did it 50 years ago without all the stuff we have. But if you don't know what you're doing, there are tools that can make things a lot simpler than if you're really a craftsman. Now, when you go from the beginning, like you said with the DeWalt, if you're doing battery tools, you usually want to stick with a brand, because sometimes you can get a tool for a deal that doesn't come with a battery and you might like for them to be interchangeable. So just like you, I bought a DeWalt kit when I was starting out. And so I've stuck with that because I don't want to have a bunch of different battery sets on site and all that type of stuff.
And I know Emily has links on her channel and her videos. So if any of the tools that she is using, you want to see where you can get it from, go check out her videos and click on the Amazon links I think she has for a lot of the tools. I'm not sure what Casey, he says, can you spell it out, the brand? English is his second language, he said. That's why. I'm not, for Emily, he's saying. Maybe about the floor? Yeah.
Oh, of the flooring leveler?
Maybe.
Oh, I think it's SCHONOX. That's the one that if you get the specific one, you don't have to have the lath in it. They just have so many different options, but they have leveler at Home Depot. You just have to put lath in it if you put it like reinforced mesh, if you're going to put it over a wood subfloor. So I use that because that's what I have access to, is the just Home Depot one. But some of the Shonox ones are nice, and you can feather your edge a little bit more in a way you can't with the Home Depot ones.
So Emily, hopefully you don't ever turn into the grumpy contractor. But he says pre-leveling floors with plywood right now, inch and a half fall to fill level quick has worked just fine. Just make sure the date is not over a year.
Yeah, that's really smart what he said, though. If you have to self-level, because self-leveling compound is really expensive, if you can fill some of it with wood, like extra subfloor, or if it's a big gap, before you do the leveler, you're going to save some money because that leveling compound is pricey.
Jim actually forgot to add in stubborn to his name. It's grumpy, stubborn contractor, but I don't know if he can fit that in. But All Nighter Hider does say each tool brand has their best kind of tools. Milwaukee makes the Sawzall, Skill makes the Skill Suck Setter. No brand makes all the best specific tools. Okay.
I would agree. I think there's some things, like I one time had a Ryobi drill that somebody gave me as a gift, and it has no power. I don't even still have it. I wouldn't use it for anything, but there's tools I don't use a lot. Like I think my little hand jigsaw is Ryobi because it was cheaper, and I'm like, I'm hardly ever going to use this. But my drills, my impacts, my Sawzalls are DeWalt. So kind of depends on the power and what you're doing with the tools. But there are some that have things that work that maybe don't so great on the other tool specific stuff.
So BuzzTune, Mikey, who's also in Hawaii, who also invests in Pittsburgh. So I think Jack just actually did some work on one of Mikey's units today. But he says, I think this is for you, Emily. Do you have optimization preferences for investors in your market, similar to Lumberjack Landlord, who's in the Northeast? So like specifically for your market, is there things they can use to optimize their units, I guess, or procedures?
So I guess I think about, this isn't necessarily anything super special or, fancy, but I always try to make my rentals a little bit, which everybody should, a little bit nicer. Things rent like crazy here. Rental market has been really steady for a really long time. Kind of goes up and down, obviously, in price, but it just stays steady here. But I think of this when I renovate a house to sell. You know how you have that really cookie cutter blueprint that a lot of investors will do, where it's forever it was gray and white, right? And they have the LVP floor and the white cabinets and it's fresh and clean, but it's pretty basic. I always try to do something kind of special that's extra that you wouldn't put in a property, because people make really emotional decisions. And I know this from being a realtor. I will see people want a house, they'll want to upsize, and then they'll pick a house that's just as small as their house, but it's pretty and shiny and new. So it's like when people put granite in or something like that, and it's like lipstick on a pig type of thing. I really renovate my properties nicely, but maybe in a bathroom, is the surround perfectly fine? Yeah, but we really have that showstopper tile or backsplash or something where people get excited about that space. So I'm putting a little bit more money in, but my units take me longer to renovate, but they rent like that. A lot of times they pre-rent, I'm working on them, and people message me and say like, are you going to be renting that one out or selling that one? Or like the house I'm renovating to flip right now, our market is declining. And so I know it's going to have to be a little bit specialer than a normal basic flip. So I'm going to do like a built-in, and it's going to be electric, but a fireplace wall that either has stone or shiplap or something cool that makes it a little bit specialer, where someone walks in and like emotionally they're kind of attaching to it. A lot of the flippers are using laminate. I'm going to put granite in this, probably quartz. Not necessary. I might net a little bit less, but it's going to sit on the market for less days. So just making it a little bit more special than what the other flippers are doing, but it will sell faster. I'll make a little bit less money.
And Ali is asking which market are you? Sorry, Jack. Ali's just asking which market are you in, Emily?
I'm in Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Go ahead, Jack. Sorry, man.
Oh, I was gonna say, I totally agree with what Emily was saying, and I would like to add, and you don't have to even spend a whole ton of money on stuff. So like, I'll give you a prime example. In the bathroom, like for a rental, a lot of people just put LVP down. If it's a small square footage for a bathroom, the cost isn't that different to lay down nice tile. So that's another way to really make your place pop. And I've done this a couple times in my units where we just get the pallets from work and we just throw them away. I'll go ahead and pull the pallets apart, and I'll take the pallets home, obviously, and then I pull them apart, and I'll create like an accent wall where I run it through, take the nails out, run it through a planer, smooth it out, hook it up into a wall. Usually, there's some goofy wall that's oddly sized, and I'll put that, and I'll put different color stains and stuff on each individual board, and I'll make like different colors, and I mix them all up and stuff, and it just creates an extra something that makes it a little bit special.
I think a backsplash too is a great way to pack a punch
Mhm.
for a low cost, because backsplash is generally such a small amount of material, but you can put something that's really special there, or like an accent wall where, like you said, you do a treatment or even just a really cool wallpaper there. Just those little things that people feel like this place is special, and you're kind of like making them feel some sort of way about the house emotionally and picturing themselves in there. The other thing is you have to think about things when people buy, or when people buy, if you're looking from the flipping perspective than the rental perspective, people will look at something that's going to cost them $50 and they freak out and they catastrophize the cost. So buyers will see something that's a $50 repair, and then they're going to ask you for a $500 allowance for it. So like flippers a lot of times won't put blinds in properties. Well, blinds are more expensive now, but people are going to ask for way more than it actually costs for that item. So if you can get rid of all those objections, especially right now, where I'm at, the market is declining. All those little objections, get rid of them, and just do them up front. Don't wait for them to ask for an allowance.
Hey, what's up, Kyle Dorn, who will be live streaming with me on Saturday, him and his girlfriend. So Kyle stirred up a lot of discussion in the last few lives. He recently retired. He sold his trucking business. His expenses is $540 a month. So that's caused a lot of stir of people saying there was BS and no ways. But his girlfriend will be on live streaming on Saturday with me. And then tomorrow I'll be live streaming with two of the Rockstar brokers agents that we work with in Pittsburgh. So Ian Hoover and Jeremy Taggart will be on tomorrow, live streaming with me. But sorry, folks, I do have to wrap things up soon. I do have to go to physical therapy this morning. But I do want to, I know Zuber gave you some advice on your interview with him, kind of flip one by one. What's your thoughts on that going forward now?
That was kind of my thought process moving forward, to hold on to one and to get rid of one. I think that it's emotionally hard to get rid of them when you've always bought and held, because long-term holding is the best scenario. But just to mitigate some risk and have some comfort with not having so much capital out at one time, that was kind of what I was thinking I would do moving forward. Unless the market tells me no on anything I'm trying to sell, then it will become a rental until the market turns around.
I do think joining school would be a great thing. You should join us in school because they're going to form a contractor call. So people that have contractor questions. And I have a feeling having a female point of some of the ladies in there might be more comfortable speaking with you. I have a feeling. I don't know. I don't know. That's just my take on it. But it would be great to have you in there, and you can be a part of that contracting call that Jim, the grumpy contractor, is trying to put together.
Cool.
But it's Michael Zuber's school community. But Jack, you were going to say something?
I forgot.
Well, let's go. Okay, we'll do this last one from Harrison, then trade better. He says, are there any items you added to your rentals that have not added curb appeal?
Well, there's lots of things that you add that don't add curb appeal that are just for health and safety or better, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that was the first thing I thought of too. Yeah.
so there's a lot that you do that people can't see. And, if you're in the trades, my husband, sometimes I'll renovate a house and he'll be like, it looks like you haven't done anything because it's in the stud phase, and it's still in the stud phase, but we're moving things and reinforcing things and doing LVLs. But if you're not looking for it, you can't see it. So for instance, one I'm working on right now, I thought the furnace was fine, but it was really loud. And I finished the basement, put a bedroom, bathroom, living room down there, and I replaced the furnace because it was too noisy. And apparently it was oversized for the house. But to have a family room down there, to have a bedroom, there's no way. So you're never going to know, besides that I'll tell people it's new. new. It wasn't necessary to do a new one, but you would have noticed it if it wasn't new. And so there's things like that that you have to do. Water heaters that you know they're going to go out, but they haven't yet. Do them before they go out. If they're at the end of the lifespan, if you fix it before you get that call at 3 in the morning, it's better to proactively deal with something than have to deal with it in an emergency. So things like that, you're just addressing proactively, are smart to do. No one knows, no one can see it, but it's going to come up eventually anyway.
All right, Jack, any final words for us?
I think honestly, to kind of go off the previous question, if the tenants never notice that the stuff is breaking or anything, then that means that you're doing your job. Like, you don't notice, for example, the electric. It just works until it doesn't work, and that's when you actually notice the electric.
All right, so everyone, there is Emily's new YouTube channel in the chat and Jack's YouTube channel. So if you haven't, please go subscribe so Emily can also start live streaming on that new channel. And hopefully we'll get her back on again, and hopefully she'll be at the event, join school with us. Everyone, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you folks